Thank you all for coming. Hello, everybody. Hello. Or should I say good day, mates? Good day. All right, I want to hear everybody's best Australian accent.
Good day, Mike.
Good day, Mike. That was very good. All right, very good. You win. You win. What's your name?
Thomas.
And the prize goes to Thomas. All right, with the best Australian accent. So thank you all for joining us. This is Spotlight on Travel. I am Amanda Blown. I'm one of the owners of Roseborough Travel Agency. On behalf of our entire team at Roseborough, I would like to thank you for coming out today and coming to this presentation. Now we have two really amazing presenters for you to tell you all about what there is to do, see, and how to go on your adventure through Australia and New Zealand. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and invite Ariane up. She is the one from Trafalgar who talks to you about everything that she's maybe done and seen and been to, as well as where you can go. Again, she's from Trafalgar, and she's going to talk to you about Australia and New Zealand. You do have some brochures on the table, but please feel free to keep the brochures to the side for now while she's talking to you, because I'm sure it will be a fun time to listen. So, thank you very much, Ariane.
Thanks so much, Amanda, and thank you, Roseborough Travel. Thank you guys for your constant support. Appreciate it. So my name is Ariane Lewis. I am the district sales manager for Trafalgar Tours. I also represent Brendan Vacations and Cost Saver. Those are the three brands that I represent. But happy to be local and home in Orlando this evening, so thank you for keeping me local today. So without further ado, how many of you have been on a Trafalgar tour before? Count one, maybe two. We're going three. Either way, you know, and you're going to be going soon, so that's fantastic. So thank you to the two of you guys that have actually traveled with us. We've actually had over 224 different itineraries. We operate in 66 different countries. We have 500 different travel directors, and I have 8 different types of travel style. So if there's one itinerary that isn't quite appealing to you, I'm sure that I've got one that will really work well to your interests of what you're looking to do. And just know our itineraries kind of vary from doing a shorter week trip from about 8 to 9 days to 20 to 23 days. And I've actually been with Trafalgar for a year, but I will tell you that with our overall brand for Australia and New Zealand, this is an impeccable product that we specifically have. How many of you have ever been to Australia or New Zealand? Two? Okay, very good. How many of you are looking to go to Australia or New Zealand? Very good. I actually really want to go back, so I'm right there with you guys. So, very good. Without further ado, you know, with Trafalgar, we just want to actually be able to talk to you guys more about the opportunity and all the things that we have available to you. Or you had no clue how to get from point A to point B, or waited in long lines because you had to get tickets somewhere, you never got a chance to have the VIP backstage pass. How many of you guys have had that experience? Okay, so there's a handful of us. I think we're all very guilty of that exact moment. What if there was a product that was out there for you, knowing that you had a a travel director to show you around, tell you about the histories, the facts, the things what you want to learn or know more about, whether you're into architecture, music, or cultural insights or things like that, versus getting lost, feeling frustrated, having hours upon hours being wasted. Because when you think about it, time is one thing that we can never get back. It's such a precious thing, and with that, you also want to think about, ultimately, besides time, what's the next biggest thing on your vacation? You want to be able to have bragging rights, right? You want to say that you got a chance to go and have dinner in the Outback. You want to say that you got a chance to try crocodile or koalas or kangaroos. I mean, you are going into the Outback, so you might be having different types of, being able to say that you immersed yourself in the culture. It's those types of experiences that we do try to provide for you, and knowing that you have the VIP access, knowing that you have saved time, knowing that you've got a travel director traveling with you from start to finish, also having a driver drive for you, and our drivers are super talented. I mean, they do a fantastic job of navigating the roads for us, so you know that you can get to your destination safe and sound as well. So with that, with Trafalgar, we're with you the whole entire way. So we actually started back 71 years ago in Trafalgar Square in London, England. I'm actually fortunate to go back in a couple of months here, which I'm excited. But we're actually family owned by the Tolman family. And this is Stanley and Arnold Tolman, who actually started off Trafalgar Tours. And this photo is actually in Trafalgar Square. So definitely nice to see. For the couple of you that have traveled, and as you guys will learn more about us, we want to know more about, what did you like about our tours, what did you not like so much, and we do take that to heart with that feedback. And so Tolman family actually takes and reads that information to know how we can constantly be improving as well. So with that, we have over 5 million travelers that have traveled with us, and also 5 million different stories we really ultimately think about. Places you've gone to, the foods you've eaten, those cultural insights, talking about, some of the best stories, and you've made lifelong friends. So we have 8 different types of travel styles. So some of my 8 different types of travel styles here, just to kind of give you an idea, with Australia, New Zealand, and just Australia itself. So with Australia and New Zealand, we have 4 different types of travel styles. With New Zealand specifically, we have 8 different travel styles, and for Australia, we've got 5 specific itineraries, just to kind of give you guys an idea. Overall, a country explorer is you're just going to go and focus on one specific area, versus a regional explorer where you're going to go and see 2 or 3 different countries if you're thinking about it. And then if you are like myself and you want to be able to have that time of leisure, you want to be able to enjoy some sleeping time, you've got 2 or 3 nights at the same property, that's kind of more my speed. It's more of getting a chance to enjoy and see the city centers, things like that. So I personally really like the leisure itineraries. But then discovers, you are gone for 23 days and you're trying to see as many countries and trying to get as many passport stamps as possible. That is definitely a nice way to say that you kind of saw it all in a short period of time in consideration. If you're also looking to do a cruise and rail combo, as we are a motor coach company, but to also kind of, there might be areas that you want to go see in Cairns or in south of Australia, or you want to go and do Tasmania. That is a great way to also get a chance to see. We have cruise and rail combos available to you too. Then, how many of you would love to travel with your families? I get the same response every time. Every time! I'm glad that this is recording. It's like never actually. A needle could drop, you can still hear that needle. I mean, that's just. Okay, so we were not going to focus on it. Just know that if you want to travel with your families, we do have itineraries towards that as well. Now, also, our motor coach sizes, we have about 45 passengers on our coaches, but if you want to travel with a smaller group, we do have we have hidden journeys, which is 26 passengers on our motor coach as well. So without further ado, we want to show you how to relax. with, your first day, if you were to do the highlights of Australia and New Zealand, your first day you're actually going to arrive in the city of Melbourne, which is actually the second largest city to Sydney, believe it or not. This is a great metropolitan city. When you arrive, by the way, it takes 2 days to actually get there, depending on your flight times and where you're actually trying to connect through. I personally went to Australia and New Zealand, and it was one of the most amazing trips. It was actually my first trip I ever did guided, and there was places that I knew I wanted to go to. I knew I wanted to go to Melbourne, I knew I wanted to go to Sydney. I was excited to learn about New Zealand. It wasn't the highest thing on my bucket list, but I was excited to actually go there and go that far away from home. It took me 22 hours on my flight initially from Philadelphia. I connected through Los Angeles, had a 6-hour layover. Then I connected through Honolulu, Hawaii, and then eventually had another 12-hour flight to Rotorua, or to Wellington in New Zealand, and then eventually had another 3-hour flight to Sydney, Australia. So I was in the air for quite some time. You know, if you ever have a lot of work or anything to do, that'd be the time to do it when you're up in the air. But you are crossing over the international date line when you think about it, so you're also, it does take you 2 or 3 days, but of course, contact Roseborough Travel. They can help you with your flight arrangements and things like that. So just know it takes some time. It takes some time to get there. So if you're gonna go full-heartedly, and I would definitely suggest if you're gonna go, it's gonna take you about, I would go for about 2 weeks. Just at least say that you saw it, quite honestly. So you're gonna arrive in Melbourne. You're gonna get a chance to go and see the local parks, getting a chance to go and meet the penguins, getting a chance to meet some of the local natives. And I actually really enjoy this just because of the local parks. You get a chance to kind of see things that maybe you never would have saw. Seeing 12 apostles. How about that? Has anybody ever, is this a high priority on people's bucket list to see the 12 apostles?
Where is it?
It is in the south end of Melbourne. So yeah, definitely some cool factors as well. Then you'll actually work your way on this actual specific itinerary. You'll actually work your way to Alice Springs. So you're working your way from South Central Australia. You're working your way actually, the inner air that's included on this itinerary specifically. You'll work your way inland to Alice Springs and get a chance to go into the true outback. And then you'll actually get a chance to go see Alice Springs and then go see Ayers Rock. This is something I actually really wanted to go see, and I missed it on my trip, so hence how I have to really go back. But this to actually put in perspective how big Ayers Rock is. It's over 2 miles long and 1 mile plus high. So when you think about how massive this is, it's amazing. We actually have, there's 2 nights that you're actually going to overnight in Alice Springs. We actually have a Be My Guest experience, which I will talk to you guys more about, but you get a chance to actually have an evening to go and relax and get a chance to have dinner in the true outback, which is amazing. So you get a chance to go see the sun. We actually do have an optional excursion available where you can go in and see the sunrise over at Ayers Rock, which you too can get really amazing photos as well. Then you'll get a chance to go and meet the Aborigines, which is the local culture. It's kind of like the Indian tribes that we have, here in a certain case over in Australia. And you get a chance to learn more about their culture and how everything kind of came about. And you get a chance to meet the locals and have those cultural insights. You'll also get a chance to learn about their local artwork too. And then the next day, after you go through Melbourne and you go through all of this, you're going to work your way down to Cairns. And after you work your way down to Cairns for the day, you're going to be there for about 3 days. And then you're going to have these authentic types of experiences. And what are those? So you'll get a chance to learn more about the Aborigines and how their tribe comes about. And they'll actually come in and they'll do a dinner and a show for you to learn more about their actual, the history about them as well. Then as you're going through the parks, you'll get a chance to continue to see some of the most amazing background and sceneries. You will eventually work your way to Sydney, or you'll get, not to Sydney, excuse me, to the Great Barrier Reef. And once you come in from the Great Barrier Reef, you'll get a chance to work your way into Sydney. And has anybody ever gone to see the Opera House, or is anybody really into the musics? Can you just talk about how amazing, have you gone into the Opera House?
Yeah, I took the tour, so.
What did you think of acoustics?
It was something else that, it was a beautiful place to go in there, because I was fascinated by it. And it was just overwhelming.
It is, because as soon as you go, for anyone that's huge into architecture, or for anyone that ever gets a chance to walk through, it's really quite impeccable because of just hearing the acoustics playing in this is just amazing, right? Sir, you said?
You can actually talk to somebody on the other side of the building because the water, the noise flows through. My son and I.
That is exactly it. You can hold on, full on conversation and be in the opposite ends of the actual opera houses, which is just one of the coolest things is to hear the projection of your voice. There was a violinist, and we got a chance to hear them play. It was absolutely amazing. It was more than something else. But you'll get a chance to go and have a behind the scenes tour of the Sydney Opera House and just see the architecture. It's absolutely wild, and you have to do it. It's a great way to go and experience this. After that, then you will get a chance to go and see great old Bondi Beach, just kind of have a day to relax and chill out. And then you'll get a chance to go on to the Captain Cook's cruise, get a chance to do a lunch cruise in and get a chance to kind of see the better city surrounding areas there. Then after you go from there, you're eventually going to work your way to Auckland, which is the city that I arrived into when I went into New Zealand as well. And Auckland is actually the coolest city. That's the biggest city. It's kind of comparable to New York City. It's the biggest metropolitan city in all of New Zealand. As you go in, the first day you actually arrive, you're going to get a chance to see and meet with some of the locals there, which is one of they're actually well known for horse racing there. I thought I was in Kentucky for a minute, but really they're actually known for that in New Zealand. I kind of questioned that. And then as you get a chance to meet some of the locals, you'll also get a chance to, I know we talked about the Aborigines, but you also get a chance to learn about the Maori culture in New Zealand as well too. And so the coolest thing that I actually really enjoyed about this trip, besides learning about the Maori culture and just how they've got tattoos on their faces and how their tribes, how everything kind of comes alive about it, is also in Rotorua, you'll go to the Agrodome and get a chance to learn how the sheep are actually sheared, and you get a chance to learn how the wool is turned into a sweater and how it goes from start to finish type of process of herding the sheep to actually getting a chance understanding your sweater and going through that process. That was one of the coolest things I got a chance to experience. But going in with the Maori culture, I don't know if you guys know this, but so this kind of gives you a better idea of a sketch that I'd gotten when I was in New Zealand years ago, of just how their tattoos had more of a tribal symbol of what their meaning of their last name. And then also this was a great way of showing their family tree, which I thought was it was a great way to kind of tell your whole entire story in a short period of time. I thought that was a great way of doing it too. So then you'll work your way over to the local spring, getting a chance to have this experience, which is really phenomenal, just to actually see the minerals and seeing the actual local parks there. It's really beautiful. Then you'll get a chance to go and collect jade. If any of you are into the jewelry and get a chance to see the emerald rings and the jewels that they have for the jade, get a chance to have that. How many of you would ever think you could go and see a glacier in New Zealand? I didn't think you thought you could do that, but you can, which is extraordinarily exciting. I had friends that recently had done this trip, and they had this exact photos, which is quite wild, because they never thought of going somewhere still yet so tropical, that going to New Zealand, how it could change from being a mountain to the oceans to the glaciers. They never expected that, ever. So you too could have that experience, getting a chance to really truly see the mountain nest and how beautiful it really truly is. So as you're going through those itineraries, it's really those places that we're going to try to take you and give you, and plus you're going to get a chance to make lifelong friends. Knowing that your luggage, for going into your authentic accommodations, you are staying at Marriott's and Hilton's of the world, but you are getting a chance to go and make brand new friends, because we're a global brand. So the dates you're selecting, you might be with people from Asia, from Canada, from New Zealand themselves, getting a chance to play tourists in their own hometowns. But with that, knowing that your luggage is taken care of for you, knowing that you've got a driver, a good portion of your meals are taken care of. I know this sounds like you are on the go, because this is one of the longest itineraries we have. You're gone for actually 22 days, but you do have that free time as well. So I'm going to play this video and then continue on for a few.
Aloha and welcome to Old Farm. We love sharing the special locations, the special products that are grown here. Our Trafalgar guests are really excited, genuine Hawaiian experience.
My name is Libero Saraceni. I like
think Trafalgar clients local market because they must have the local experience. How we live, they never forget.
My name is Alberto. I am part of the family and cousin of the owners. In the family, we cook and live for our guests. It's a very simple family style. We taste the wine produced by the family.
When Trafalgar guests are coming, I show them a little bit about our church, and then they enjoy a very nice meal. The main part is taken from our own bar.
When we say goodbye to our guests, I think they take away a little bit more information about sustainable farming and why we're so passionate about what we do.
So with that, that's one of our Meet My Guest experiences, is you'll actually get a chance right before you leave, you're gonna get a chance to go and meet with one of the local farms and getting a chance to learn about more sustainable living as well, which I think is a fantastic overall experience, because honestly, we try to keep it fun and authentic and effortless for you. We try to give you those moments that are really gonna pull a heartstring, places you never thought that you'd ever actually know about in a million years. Our travel directors, they're not your boring history teacher. They're out there to really kind of customize application towards you, knowing if you're into architecture or knowing that you can have a conversation from one side of the opera house to the other, knowing that there's glaciers in New Zealand, to kind of point out those things to you to make it a little bit more customizable in an overall experience. You know, when people ask, do I really get free time? Yes, you really do get free time. Usually right around lunchtime is when you get it, and you do get it for about 2 to 3 hours each day, which is nice. The itinerary that I specifically went through, you do have a couple of days of leisure in between when you're going from some of these major city centers as well. So with that, all that being said, I'm also, just for time's sake, we would love to have you. And I hope that you guys are gonna have an amazing, actually I know you're gonna have an amazing time going and traveling with us. But with that, just got to figure out what itinerary you guys really ultimately want to take, what's going to be the best for you, and what cities you want to go and see. With that all said, how about saving you guys some money? You know, it does cost some money to get over to Australia and New Zealand when you think about it. So some of the discounts that I do provide for you is if you are active or retired military, we thank you for your guys' services. There's $75 that comes off the booking instantly. Also, if you have traveled with myself or any of my sister brands, we are 33 companies, luckily I only represent 3 of them. If you travel with any of my sister brands, you also receive a 5% repeat traveler discount with us. If you are a small group traveling together, 5 to 9 passengers, you'll also save another 5%. If you are a solo traveler, you could do a solo share, or you could do a solo traveler that's just paying for your own room and you're going to your authentic accommodation. So on the highlights of Australia and New Zealand, it's a $2,000 price point in addition to the $7,000 for that actual itinerary. So know that it's roughly going to cost you $9,000 as a solo traveler. If you are looking to do a solo share, that means you're single, but you're more than happy to go share with someone. We do have that available. We also have dates in our itineraries that are more geared towards more single travelers too. So if you're looking for those types of dates, we do have that. We also have, we're actually in the process of launching our exotics for sure here shortly. So we know that we're going to have an additional savings going into the 2019 year, but currently, contact Roseborough Travel because they're more than happy to, of course, further assist you. But if you do book in the next 7 days, the girls all do have a $200 coupon for anybody that came for this evening. If you book in the next 7 days, you have $200 off. It comes per person or per couple. And then if you are not quite sure what you're going to book just yet, you've got 30 days, and then it's $100 per couple. So save either $100 or $50. So not too bad. Plus, we've got another really great little incentive for you too. So that's how I'm going to save you some money. Is there any questions?
We have a lot of questions.
Okay, all right. Sorry.
top-notch, amazing ones just for you. So Kim is here to talk to you about Collette and the way that they do Australia, New Zealand. She is not new to the company, but she's new to this position, and it's the first time I've met her today. So we've talked on the phone a few times, and she's been in the office when I wasn't there, but I know that she's going to tell you everything right from the travel director's experience. So I'm sure she'll tell you a little bit about herself too. So Kim, take it away.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. And thank you for doing a great job ahead of me. So I won't try to repeat a lot of the stuff that she's talked about, but just a little bit of a difference. You know, sometimes there's cherry pie and sometimes there's apple pie, and they're both good, right? There's enough business for everyone. So I want to thank you all for being here, for taking your time on this evening and this hot day to come and learn about traveling to Australia, or as they say, down under. My name is Kim Foy. I live in Claremont, Florida, and I have been with Collette 8 years. I was a tour manager on the road with Collette for 7, so I was the leader of the group on the motor coach, which I love, being on that $1 million motor coach, taking people around, having lots of fun with them, and experiencing their journeys as and it didn't matter if I saw the national park 5 times in 1 year. I love seeing it through everybody's eyes each time. So I'm going to show you a little bit about New Zealand. I'm going to show you a little bit about Australia, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the company Collette. So I want to welcome again everyone and thank Roseborough Travel. Thank you so much for having us here tonight. And as she said, I've been in this position probably just a few months. I think this is my 2nd or 3rd presentation. So if I get a little my fingers are too big for the keyboard, I will apologize in advance for that. But thank you all for being here. The one thing that's really great about working with Collette is all the people that I get to meet. On the road, we were meeting new travelers. We've been in business this year 100 years in the travel industry. Group travel started with Thomas Cook, if anybody's familiar with that, over in London. Collette now is partnered with Thomas Cook, and I am happy to be with Collette. As a tour manager for 7 years, now I'm on the road as a business management developer, so helping people buy travel and moving forward and driving around this great state of Florida. So one thing I can absolutely say that my favorite part of travel is seeing all the beautiful places, but making sure I spend it with people who have beautiful faces. Just seeing the look on their face when they're experiencing something new and exciting. There's nothing like that in the world. So whether you're traveling independent, with your partner, with a group, or just traveling with some new travelers on a group travel, it's a wonderful way to experience all the world's destinations. And I have to say, one of my favorite quotes that I read was, "Travel is an investment, and it is one that you will always be richer from." So if you haven't been on the road in a group, in a motor coach, on the road as group travel, I hope you will experience a destination with Collette. So we have experienced a 100-year anniversary this year. We're celebrating with a lot of great gifts. I hope they continue through 19, but it was 100 years ago that Jack Collette started. Actually, he started in Rhode Island with $68 to Florida, a 3-week vacation, 1 week down, 1 week in Florida, and 1 week back in an open air bus. So free air conditioning for everyone. So we're having a lot of fun doing that celebration this year. There's a lot of beautiful points and comfort that comes along with group travel, no matter who you travel with. The idea of having someone take care of everything for you. As a travel professional and a tour manager, I would start preparing for a tour weeks in advance, sometimes making reservations for the group, getting the names in order, so everything is taken care of. So when you travel as a group, all you have to do is bring your bag and show up. Isn't that great? Collette even has 4 to 5 star all hotel accommodations, which are wonderfully strategically located. So if you have free time, it's easy for you to get out and take a nice walk. You're going to be centrally located in the heart of any destination, so it's convenient for you. As well as having a professional tour manager. As I started the field of tour managing, it took me about 8 months to get enough training to start that position. And then, so there are about 100 different tour managers with Collette, and they are full-time tour managers. And they will be with you from your first destination when you arrive, all the way to the end when you say goodbye to the group. And of course, the convenience of having someone else take your luggage. Forget about it. I don't even want to take my luggage into my own house. So it's great to have somebody take that. You just have to take your carry-on and they'll take your bags right from your destination, a hotel destination, right to the motor coach and then back again to your hotel destination. But one thing that Collette does that a lot of companies do not do is we offer sedan service. So we will pick you up at your home and we will take you to the airport, so you don't have to worry about parking, you don't have to worry about slipping your bag to the terminal. They'll drop you right off, pick you up in plenty of time and get you to the airport. So a lot of convenience. That's the one thing that's so nice about group travel. And saving money. You're going to save money, you're going to have a great time, you're going to have everything taken care of you, and you just have to show up on time. And that's all you have to do. So I can't say enough about our tour managers. Any group travel that offers a guided tour with a tour manager, they are a top-notch company because they are paying a professional to stay with you the entire time to make sure things are taken care of, like your reservations, your appointments, what your room requests are. If there's a situation on tour, if you stub your toe or break a nail or need a haircut, whatever you need, there's someone there that can help you, walk you through it. Or in my case, when I was in Yellowstone, I had a gentleman that had to go to the emergency room in the middle of Yellowstone, which is 2 million acres. And he was very happy I was there to help expedite things along. So they are worth their weight in gold, no matter who you travel with. Tour managers are very, very underrated, and they are essential to any great group travel. Now, we are going to talk about the 7 continents. Actually, I'm not going to talk about all 7. I'm only going to talk about Australia tonight. But we do visit all 7 continents, and we have over 100, almost 170 tours now, over 160 that we offer, so world travel. And again, this has been a progression from 100 years. So we've learned a lot, and we've grown a lot as we've come along. Many of you can recognize some of those beautiful sites. Our African safaris that our people are interested in, of course, we even go to Grand Canyon and our national parks. We have about 8 different national park tours, Europe, Machu Picchu, and we also travel to Antarctica, which is a great tour. That's one that when everybody has done everything on their bucket list, what do? You go to Antarctica. So today we're going to talk about Australia, and certainly want to give you a great bird's eye view of this. And I'm going to talk about all the destinations and then just some of the tours and show you a little bit of how they're laid out, and talk to you a little bit about days, price, and your savings. Because what this is all about is you having a great experience. And that was one thing that I prided myself in as a tour manager, is to make sure that my guests had paid a good portion of money to make sure they had a great time, and I was going to do everything in my power to do that. And all of our tour managers line up the same way. We have over 500 people in our home office of Rhode Island that are experts in the travel industry. We have offices 2 offices in Canada, 1 in Australia, and also we have an office in Europe. So the one asset that I thought was great with Collette is when you call, you get somebody on the line that answers the phone, because we are awake around the world. So you don't have to worry about that as you're traveling. So when you arrive into Australia, you come into Cairns. This is a beautiful area here that you're going to be having the opportunity to do some snorkeling, or if you don't want to get into the water, you can certainly enjoy the boat ride and then enjoy the beautiful landscape of the Barrier Reef. You will have to make sure you bring 2 cameras because one will just not be enough. Of course, you have the opportunity not only to see Australia from the ground up, from all the different landscape, but also from the bird's eye view from the Rainforest Cableway. That is a beautiful sky ride that we include in several of our tours. It gives you a magnificent view. You'll have to make sure you are closing your mouth most of the time because your jaw will just drop to the ground. It is so beautiful. It is just like an unbelievable, the country is so beautifully laid out with so many surprises from the beaches all the way to the glaciers. You are going to be awestruck. Of course, we do take a group into the Uluru, and then we will have, that is into the outback, and of course it is magnificent. This is a little bit closer perspective than what we saw earlier, but it is a wonderful, you're awestruck at this. You are arriving out into the outback, and the first thing they do is get out of the motor coach, gather everybody around, and crack open the champagne. Nothing like it on a hot sunny afternoon, right? You're looking at elevations over 1,144 feet high, and just a magnificent, here's some more details, some people. These are actually what I've tried to do just in the few months that I've been doing this. Now that I'm not on the tours anymore with the groups, I've asked my travelers who have booked tours to say, oh, please send me some pictures so I can incorporate them into my slides. So they're not just, these aren't just professional pictures, these are pictures from the guests. So you can see, you get an opportunity to get out there and hike around and see what it really has to offer. And it is just an extraordinary adventure. Of course, when we get into Alice Springs, you get a little bit more cultural. Collette has really emphasized over the 100 years that we want to make this experience more than just getting on a bus with a group of people and going to a buffet. It's not your mother's tour anymore. So this is about experiencing the culture, the vitality, the lifestyle of the people who live there. You want to know what it's like to throw a boomerang? Just make sure you don't. You have to remember. So you're going to see the beautiful bright colors, spend time. Of course, we go into the national park, which is one of my favorite places because I did a lot of national park tours. And there's nothing more grand than see the beautiful nature of God's hand in creating some of these beautiful landscapes. And you never really understand how vast it is until you get out there and experience it. We could show you, both of us could show you 100 pictures. It's not going to be the same until you get on the motor coach and see it for yourself. And that's when you know you have broadened your expectations and your lifestyle with travel. And that's what's so great about group travel, because it gives you all those benefits of being with people to share that experience, and also the variety of the different destinations that you see. Here we are in Melbourne, of course, this beautiful city that is a Victorian city. It's sort of modern, it's sort of similar to the United States, but also it is surrounded by the beautiful waterways, and it just has a beautiful, fresh feeling about it. So you'll certainly have plenty of time to experience that beautiful city of Melbourne down under. And then one of my favorite places, and I was just talking to a tour manager, one of my friends, and I said, what is your group's favorite thing about this tour? And they said, well, it's going to see the penguins. And when they see the penguins at Phillip Island, now Phillip Island, you will see now, this is really, they should show the penguins in vast numbers because that's how you see them. And they're adorable because they're mini. You know, how cute is that? You know, they're not just penguins, but they're like mini. So you get to see those beautiful penguins, the beautiful shoreline, and Phillip Island is also known for chocolate. So that is a great experience there as well. Now, what goes well with chocolate? Wine. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. We will, in Barbarossa Valley, we're going to experience some wine tasting And Collette, again, emphasizing on the cultural experience, will bring you into the winery, make sure you are experiencing lots of the local wine tasting, and have a wonderful afternoon just enjoying that and relaxing. In Sydney, of course, that is known, the beautiful Opera House, but also we include a beautiful city tour. Collette has done a little something different this year. We have what's called Choice on Tour, because we are making our tours more of a personal experience for you. So a Choice on Tour is when you will have your destination, you will have your itinerary, and then that particular day, your group leader, your tour manager will say to you, well, today you can do this, or you can do this. And that way you can make your choice on those tours. You can do a wonderful city tour, or you can do a walking tour, or you can do a panoramic city tour. Of course, once you get the tour of Sydney, we are going to go see the Collette Park, which, you know, you can't bring these home. It's not allowed. I know they're so cute. You'll want to do that. But that also is just sort of the quintessential kind of iconic symbols that you will see, that you all think about Australia, but what you won't get to see unless you go and experience it is the beauty, the sounds, the smells, the taste, the culture, the beautiful river cruise that we have in the evening, and see the lit up Opera House. It's just absolutely beautiful. If you want to take an afternoon and walk up over the bridge, I hear that takes a few minutes, but you will have to if you want to do it. Going down's a bit easier. So, of course, any kind of travel, it's all about the experience. And I have to say, you know, we as a travel company, we want to make sure your experience is the best it can be. We have a lot of support teams behind us that support you, and we have been in the business 100 years, so we've been through a lot. Let's talk a little bit about New Zealand. Some of our tours include New Zealand, but there's many that you can just experience New Zealand on its own. A lot of people talk about Australia, but once you go to New Zealand, you'll never forget it. It's an experience that is sort of life-changing, because I think it unfolds to you the opportunity of a vast type of beauty and unbelievable landscape that it's hard to describe. It's like trying to describe the Grand Canyon. There's just no way to do it unless you see it. Queenstown, we start off with a wonderful dinner. Our culinary experience with Collette is we believe that we need to get our groups out into the communities to have dinner. Let them experience dinners in these beautiful locations with these culinary meals that is really lends to this wonderful evening experience. This is overlooking Queenstown and the beautiful river. Just look at the landscape there. It's just incredible. So you will have time to have dinner as groups. We offer 50% more meals are included in our tours. We only offer 1 to 2 options during our tours, because we want to make sure that all of your opportunities are included. That once you pay the price, you are knowing what it is that you are purchasing. Now, when we get to Milford Sound, this is probably one of the most serene stops in the South Island area. Of course, you'll be on a beautiful boat. This is a four-goer, if I could, I don't speak Australian, I'm sorry. It's like a beautiful sweeping landscape of canal, almost natural made, with 4,000 feet of rock coming up out of the water. It's a place that you've never seen the likes of anywhere else. And of course, right here, that looks like that could be the Loch Ness Monster. I don't know what it is, but it certainly looks like that. This is just a beautiful experience. So now you went from Australia, now experience these beautiful landscapes of New Zealand. It is actually probably more of a natural type of setting. Of course, if you've ever experienced the Grand Tetons, anyone here been to the Grand Tetons? And I love Jackson Hole, don't you love it? This is like the mama of the Grand Tetons. This is Mount Cook National Park, those beautiful glaciers that's carved out with those with the rocks and the beautiful glaciers. Some of those glaciers go 300 feet deep into the caverns. It almost looks like a backdrop on a movie set when you are experiencing that. That is an incredible sight. We do make a stop at Christ Church. Many of you are familiar with that, with the history that it's had with that horrible, horrible earthquake. But you can see how that has rallied around and come back into life. And then, of course, Wellington. One of the favorite spots here is this the bumblebee type of beehive building that sort of looks like a beehive, doesn't it? So the architecture there, this dates back to a very old section of history for the area of New Zealand. It's actually known for all of the restaurants and culinary experiences, and there's lots of free time for you to enjoy some of the natural, some of the outstanding culinary experiences that Wellington has to offer. Of course, this area here, you have the beautiful landscape. Now, this probably looks a little bit like Yellowstone. Exactly, exactly. So you have that natural hot springs kind of atmosphere that you have in a natural setting that makes it very unique. And we will tour around the Rotorua. I always want to say Rotorua, and I bet you thought I was going to say but yeah, that's a very interesting. I used to tour a lot at the national parks in the United States, and we would stay one day in 2 million acres, and it's never enough. And when you get to this type of landscape, it is so vast and large that you think this is just an unbelievable type of landscape to see. We also make our stop in Luckland. And thank you, Luckland. And then, so that's a larger city where we have a large, they have 2 beautiful harbors. We do a city tour there. The waterways that just greet up to the city line, a little more of the city life rather than the natural life. But of course, the cultural experience of the natives, of course the tattooing that's so popular, the wildlife, if you're into bird watching. You know, bird watching is the 4th national hobby of the United States. Did you know that? The 4th. And leading bird watching. So yeah, thousands of bird travel through. So if you want to bring your binoculars, always a good idea. Of course, you get to see the locals. And if you are thinking about that tattoo, this could give you an idea of what to experience. This might be a little bit too much, maybe just above the eyebrows, but I think those are his real eyebrows. But those, this is the type of culture and that you will get to experience when you are in New Zealand. It's exciting, it's thrilling, it's interesting, it's unbelievable, and it is beautiful. The Bay of Islands is a great way to top everything off. Of course, this is just a magnificent view for the Bay of Islands. It's lush, the waterways are clear. We go down into Cape Britt, and we visit the lighthouse. We start, as I said, go from glaciers to shore to beautiful lake picture type of atmosphere. So it is a beautiful tour, and oh, this is a great one too. I love this. How many people have seen The Hobbit? Read the book or seen? Absolutely. We make a stop here. This was set up for that movie, The Hobbit. And one of my favorite quotes from Gandalf was, leave your home behind. The world is set ahead. And I think that's what's great about travel, because you are always moving forward and looking ahead for your next destination and your next trip on where that's going to be. And I hope that you will join us or Trafalgar to join you to help you have a great trip to Australia and New Zealand. I'll just go quickly over some of these. This is just one. It's called the Complete South Pacific, 27 days, 38 meals. These prices here indicate without airfare. Now, we have a travel package that does include transportation from the home to the airport. We also provide transportation from your first destination arrival to the hotel. And at the end of the tour, we will take from the hotel to the airport, and when you arrive home, we'll bring you back from the airport to your home. That is our travel package, and they will be able to set up the pricing for you on whatever tour you would like to have. Of course, we do offer our travel protection program. I'll go over that lightly, but anytime you see a Collette tour, we always show you what's included, where you start off, where you fly into, the interior flights on this. You notice this 27 days includes Australia and New Zealand. If you're looking for a more maybe budget-friendly kind of tour, you're going to go down to 21 days, 29 meals included. And then you have this layout here, both Australia and New Zealand. A couple of the high points that you get to see going back into the outback, as well as the 3-night stay in Sydney. And if you only have a 2-week vacation from work and you're still working, you may just want to do the South Pacific Wonders. And again, these are just some of the tours that we offer, but this one will get you down there. You'll have 3 nights in Cairn, 3 nights in Sydney, and then go on into Christchurch and Queenstown. What's nice about that is it's not one-night stays. We have over 75 tours that do not have one-night stays, so you can leave your toothbrush on the bathroom counter, you can come back to your hotel room with a free clean room and have everything nice and comfortable for you. Exploring Australia, if you just want to focus on the Big Island, we offer that for 18 days. And then we also have Exploring New Zealand. This is a page turner. And I say that because it can't fit on one page. We have to go to the next page. 24 days, 35 meals starting at $4.99.9. So then these are day 13 through day 23 days, your 24th day's travel. Again, a little bit of time to get there, but what isn't worth it without having a little bit, sometimes a little bit of, I don't want to say suffering, but you have to sometimes want something, to have it be worthwhile. Again, just high-pointing the Collette sedan service that's within 50-mile radius of the main airport. Of course, our travel protection. We are a debt-free company, 100% debt-free. If you book with us before 6 months of your tour, your trip, you will get 100% of your money returned to you if you decide you're having a bad hair day and just can't go on the trip. If you take the travel protection, you can cancel the day before you travel and get 100% of your money back, except the cost of the travel protection. So it also works, and I can tell you as a tour manager experience, when you are on tour and you are in another country and you have a medical emergency and you do not have the travel protection of any kind, you will wish you had it. And it's a lot easier to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, because I had everything from a cardiac arrest to a broken toe and also a broken nose. It was mine, so I had to have surgery later on from that. But it does include, our travel protection does include trip interruption, travel days, lost luggage, illness, accident, and theft. So it's a good thing to be prepared. So again, if you want that, you can have it, that's your option. If you want to take our flight program and our travel package, you can have that. We sell our land prices as the prices that you have seen on the screen, and we have over 160, almost 170 now tours to choose from. If you are a past traveler with Collette, or you travel with us and then next year you want to travel again because you love it so much, we will give you $150 off. That is pretty much about equal to the 5% off of a tour within a 12-month period. If you go 13 months, sometimes people do a family vacation and then they do their bucket list vacation. If you do that within 13 to 24 months, you get an additional $100 off the trip. And that is included with any other discount you may have, AARP, COPD, I know I'm if you need passports or visa, we will help you along with that. Of course, your passport is always important to make sure that you have that up to date. And then, of course, why do you want to choose Collette? Mainly because I just think it's a great company, and hope you just believe me, because it is a great company, and I love working for them. We've served probably about, we are on almost 9 million people that we have served over the 100 years. And there's been some bumps in the road, literally, right, as a travel company. But we are, how many people have watched Wheel of Fortune? Nobody? Yeah, Collette, right on there. We did Wheel of Fortune, and we did give trips away all the time on there. So 100 years experience. I want to thank you so much, and not only just to say thank you, but I'd like to also offer you that $100 per person, $200 per couple if you decide to book any Collette tour in the next 7 to 21 days. All right? All right, and she will be able to help you. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Kim. Thank you very much to both of our vendors who spoke to you today about Australia and New